Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome to a new day. It is Saturday afternoon and it's almost 3:15 and I am going to get supper started already because it's going to take 2 to 3 hours to cook. So I have here a Black Angus boneless rump roast, the beef, and my original plans with this was to have shredded beef burritos, but in kind of looking over the things we have, like certain fresh vegetables that we need to get used up right away, I am going to make a pot roast instead using this. Now I know a lot of people, most people use like a chuck roast, but this is what we have and I need to get a pot roast made because we have potatoes and carrots that need to be used, and onions. We're on our last 2 or 3 onions. They need to be used. So I want to get all these veggies used up before they go bad. So that's why I'm going to make a pot roast. Alright, so I am going to go ahead and sear this before I put it, and this is going to be made in the oven. It's not a slow cooker pot roast. It's going to be made in the oven with potatoes and carrots. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and sear this. I'll show you what I'm going to use, as I'm going to put a rub on it before I sear it. So let me show you that. So right here, what I have is black pepper, onion powder, salt, a little bit of garlic powder. For measurements, you can use what it's to taste, whatever you want, but if you need measurements, that is a tablespoon of black pepper, 2 teaspoons of onion powder, a teaspoon of salt, and a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. So what I'm going to throw in here is some flour. So when I sear it, that flour is going to be on the outside of the roast, and it should make it a little crusty, and when it creates juices, it'll thicken it up a little bit. So I'm going to be using 3 tablespoons of flour in it. Like I said, I normally don't do measurements, but some people like measurements, so I'm just going to go with that. Alright, so that's 3 tablespoons of flour. And then I'm just going to whisk that all up together. And this way, what the flour, like I said, the flour is going to thicken stuff up a little bit. And when the roast creates a little bit of juice, because it does have some fat on it, it's got a nice side of fat on there, which I'm going to leave in there because that's going to create some juices and thicken up the gravy a little bit. And I'm also going to use a can of beef broth, so that should also thicken up the juice a little bit with the flour being in there. Alright, so I'm going to grab a cookie sheet. We're going to get this rub on the roast. Alright everyone, so while I was doing all of this, my phone, the camera just shut off. So I don't think it caught me putting all the rub on there and everything, but we'll just pick up from here obviously. So I just put the rub on a cookie sheet, got the roast on here, and put it on all the sides and stuff. So right now I'm going to sear it. I've got the oven preheating to 275. So yeah, that's where we're at. And so let's get started with that. Alright, so you can see it's got a pretty good sear on it. The rub is on there. I do end up taking off some of the rub when I grab it with the tongs, but I'm going to do something with that too. So, alright, I'm going to go ahead and transfer this to the casserole dish. It's basically your large cake dish. That's what I'm going to put it in. And then I'm going to do something with this oil, add some flour, a little bit of beef broth, and then we'll go from there. Alright, so I definitely want to make use of this. So I'm going to throw in a little bit of flour. And some, not the whole can of beef broth, but some of it. I'm just going to cook this stuff up. I guess you can call it a, I guess they call it a roux, gravy if you will. But you can see it's already thickening up. Turn that burner down. And I'm going to pour this over the roast. And then we'll get the roast in the oven. But if you can see on the tongs, got quite a bit of stuff there. So I'm just going to throw that in there as well. Get every bit I can. Alright, so I got my roast there. I got the little bit of gravy I made there. And I'm going to go ahead and put it over. It's sliding off anyway, but as you can see, I got some more in there. So I'm going to throw a little bit of beef broth there, get up all that, and pour it in there. And this I'm going to pour on the bottom. Sorry that's so close. Okay, so I'm going to cover this. Oven is preheated to 275. I'm going to cover this, throw in the oven for about an hour. And in that hour, I'll go ahead and start cutting up the carrots, potatoes, and onions. Alright everyone, so I've got all the veggies ready to put in here. Everything's cut up, so I'm going to go ahead and put them in. It's not been quite an hour yet, but I'm going to go ahead and do it anyway. Smells good. Alright, so we're going to go ahead. I've got some onions cut up here, pretty big pieces. I'm going to throw those in. And we got carrots and potatoes here. And I went ahead and cut up everything we have as far as potatoes, carrots, onions. So now we are out of everything. And I'm going to continue to slow cook this. What time is it now? Let me see what time it is. It's almost 4:30 right now, so I'll slow cook it for another hour. I'll see where we're at, and then I'll raise the temperature if I need to. And I'm going to put the rest of the beef broth in here. I'm just going to pour some salt and pepper over the top here. All right. Okay, we're going to cover it back up and throw it back in. All right, everyone, so this is after 2 hours and 10 minutes at 275. So the carrots and the potatoes are all soft, so those are done. I'm going to take the roast out to see what we have for the inside as far as if it's done. I started to cut it there, but I'm going to go ahead and take it out and see what we have. All right, so I'm going to go ahead and cut this. It cuts pretty smooth, so it looks like the inside is done. I don't know if you can see that, but and again, most people use a chuck roast. This is a rump roast, so I don't know if you can see that there, but it looks done. So this has only been 2 hours and 10 minutes at 275, and everything is done. So all right, I'm gonna plate a little bit, have Glenn taste it. You know, he's a taste tester, so I'll be right back. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and give Glenn just this little bit right here, and we'll see what he says. To me, I think it looks good, it smells good, I think it's gonna taste good, so we'll see. All right, everyone, so here's Glenn's testing plate. So he thought it was pretty good. He said the gravy has a really good taste. The meat it's not too bad at all. On the outside, when you poke into it, it seems like it's hard, but when you pretty much slice it up and everything, it's not that, you know, it has a pretty good softness to it. So yeah, I think it came out good. I'm gonna go ahead and plate us some for supper. Give Glenn a little bit more, and then I'm gonna fix my plate. Yeah, I'll just show you the plates when I got it plated up. All right, everyone, so here is my plate. I can't believe how quick this got done, and if I'm being honest, this is the very first time I've made pot roast. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with the way it came out, so I have to say I'm proud of myself on this one. Yeah, I'm quite happy. And I'm happy that Glenn liked it too, so that makes a big difference. But yeah, all right, so that's going to be it for this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Thank you so much for taking time out of your day to watch it. I appreciate all of your support. And with that, remember to live life, be good to yourself, and be good to others. Until next time.